Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
KCAA.
No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let you sleep.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter and Ipilani Lockhart with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. We will talk politics, culture, and history. Today's show is brought to you by Motivational Realization, the
energy of positive thought.
We're going to have a great conversation with Chachi and Daryl here, and we'll get a bit into what they do in a second. But I'd also like to mention our other sponsors, Celebrities Bar and Grill over on 40th Street. Head on over there. They're just ending their steak special, but they have a pool table, and I guess they're getting some foosball coming in.
Okay.
They're going to add a little bit more games to this. That might be fun. I haven't played pool there in a long time.
There you go.
So that'll be cool. And go over there and get one of their chicken sandwiches. They're healthy
that.
and good.
Yeah.
They're good. Also, Golden Pizza and Wings on Golden and Highland, or on Olive and Waterman Avenue over there by the Waterman Discount Mall.
Okay.
They actually went through a lot of stuff with San Bernardino when the riots happened back in the day. They had their windows broken and everything. So I remember I went out there and I was sweeping out there with them and helping them out with Damon Alexander and Hardy Brown Jr.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just happened to get called in by him, and he's like, "Hey, you've been eating pizza with us since you were a kid, right?" Well, not a kid, but younger.
A younger man.
Yeah, and my mom knew him and everything. Really cool. So he's a great sponsor. He's bought pizza for the show here, and
awesome.
And I just appreciate good sponsors. So if you'd like to be a sponsor for our show, let me and Yanni know, and we'll get you on here, and we'll showcase your stuff, go do videos for you,
Yes,
and
indeed.
you can help bring the information to the people out there.
Yes, indeed.
Because that's what me and Yanni do. We get information that's not always put out there for everyone.
True.
And we give you a platform to try to influence who you can.
Definitely.
I'd also like to mention our standout of the week. Our San Bernardino standout of the week is...
Definitely. We actually have two of them. The first one is the San Bernardino County Black Cultural Foundation for their 46th annual Black History Parade that took place this past Saturday.
Which was different than the Martin Luther
Yes.
King parade that was held earlier.
Definitely.
But they're both good. They were both incredible.
Good. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we used to attend the Martin Luther King parade back in the day on the west side, so it was kind of nostalgic seeing going down the same route how it used to do back in the day.
I only saw a video, but...
Definitely.
I saw your pictures.
No, thank you, brother. I know so many people were happy to see that. It was great participation. I love the fact that the San Bernardino Unified School District is saying that they're going to be attending every single parade that's happening in the city. So I love that kind of support and that kind of buy-in. We just got to make sure the city gets on board as well, because we could use more support, you know what I mean? And then the second standout of the week is San Bernardino Parks and Rec for their amazing second annual Lunar New Year festival that happened at Court Street that same Saturday as well. So they had the drums, the dragon dancing, and all kind of vendors.
I saw that video. That was cool.
Yeah. It was awesome, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was a great experience, wonderful turnout, and I that's what I love about our community. It's so diverse, and we need to be celebrating every aspect, every culture, every ethnicity. We bring something positive to our community,
And the San Bernardino standout of the week is brought to you by Cindy Ta and the Mochi Nuts,
Yes.
or barbecue. Korean barbecue BBQ chicken,
Yes,
but not
yes.
barbecue BBQ
BBQ.
chicken, and then Mioja Shabu Shabu,
Yeah,
and that's
hot pot.
that's right across the street from Costco. So you head across the street from Costco, go in that driveway, go around the building. It's right there, and it's like they got this food that they bring out to you, and you cook it right there in front of you, and then you put your vegetables in there, and you dip it's really good.
Very similar to same kind of concept as when you go to like the Korean barbecue spots where they, you had the menu you bring out and you cook it yourself. But it's the same thing in that concept wise with the hot pots. You know what I mean? So you put it in the broth and add your vegetables and this and that. So it's really cool. I've been to a few in the past. I need to make my way over there.
Yes, excellent. You need to try it. And then they got the mochi nuts on Redlands Boulevard and Anderson right there. It's right on the corner, basically.
Like
Loma Linda area, San Bernardino. And the Korean barbecue's right on the other side of Baker's there. So they're both right there. And so you could get some mochi nuts and then some Korean fried barbecue.
Yeah, and don't judge me, but that chicken was excellent.
Yes, Cindy, we appreciate you. And they brought so much food in here that we had food a couple days.
For real. We had to-go boxes,
And if you have a business or just a person, you want to sponsor the San Bernardino non-for-profit of the week or the San Bernardino business of the week or anything of the sort, just let us know. It's $25 a show, and we'll get your name out there. And knowing me, I'll probably stop by and show my business. We'll just see radio stuff.
Show your business.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that business. It depends on how much they pay. Yeah.
Man, I hope they can see that on the stream. It looks like we're frozen.
Hey, y'all notice they didn't bust out any dollars. What's up, Eric? Yeah.
Definitely. And, just want to make the announcement about if you want to watch the stream live, you could download the KCAA app via the Google Store or the iPhone store. I'm not too sure what they call it. Eric always asks me about the Google Store, and I need to ask him about, what is it called?
The Apple Store. And the Apple Store.
Okay.
KCAA app.
There we go. Thank you, E-Money. Shout out to E-Money. He's our engineer, but I like to say he's like our navigator, and this is the Millennium Falcon, so we soaring.
And so go to KCAA on YouTube and subscribe.
KCAA TV.
Oh, TV, yeah. And you'll continuously get updates of the different shows. So
Totally.
I actually like that.
Awesome.
It's a lot easier now that I can, it shows right up on my phone.
Amen.
There's one more thing that I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah. I want to thank our engineer, Eric, for being so cool.
Yes, indeed.
And, how long have you been doing this, Eric?
Ooh, I think I've been here 5 years or so now.
Okay.
And I just want to say I appreciate you, dude.
Yes, indeed.
Seriously, man. You're always there on, like when I call to get in, you run out there. It's everything, dude. And I don't know if I've shared enough how much I appreciate your hard work.
Definitely.
So I wanted to take time out of this show to give him some love.
Definitely. And shout out to Palm Trees in Progress, because E-Money is also the host of that show. And it's an amazing show where they talk about a variety or a myriad of topics, as well
including
as
trees.
Yeah. Palm Trees in Progress. That's all we'll say about that. You know what I mean? But, it's a wonderful show and always has some interesting and exciting guests on the show. So tune in for that on KCAA as well. What time is your show, Eric?
I'm on at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays, so tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thanks again, man. Appreciate the love, guys.
Yeah.
That's what's up, family.
So there's not I don't know about anything going on too much in the city. I know we have a meeting on Wednesday at 5 o'clock over at the Feldheim Library. I'm not sure what's on the agenda, but if you'd like to meet your new council members, it'd be a good idea to go over there and listen to Dr. Councilwoman Treasurer Ortiz and Mario Flores, Councilman Mario Flores, right?
Yes, indeed.
And just gonna see. And Councilman Kim.
Yes,
Canas. Yes, that's. Oh yeah, and Juan just re-won.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But get to know their voice, right?
Definitely.
And see what their face looks like, right?
I think I was standing next to Juan at the Lunar New Year, but I haven't really connected with him yet. So, but yeah, I think I was standing right next to him, but he didn't say anything. Well, I'd seen him look over at me.
So how you got to approach this with them is once you learn their voice and once you learn their facial features that they associate with their voice enough, you can just listen on the radio
of course.
And listen to their voice and know what their facial features are, right? And their facial features are telling you whether they're going to vote for something, whether they're not going to vote for something, or if they're really mad or whatever, right?
Definitely.
After the, like I don't know that yet with Mario Flores, Councilman Flores, or Council. Oh, I do not know it with Councilwoman Ortiz. Yeah, but Kim with Councilwoman Canas, like she has a different style, so I'm just learning. She's very professional at the dais, and it's a breath of fresh air, to be honest, and I like it. But I have to learn her a little bit better. So when I just listen on the radio or listen, it just kind of like, it's easy for me to follow along because it's hard to go to every meeting, right? I mean, shoot, yeah. But I want to be a part of every meeting, right?
Definitely. I definitely wanted to shout out some community events that are happening, and then I know our guest has a community event upcoming tomorrow, I believe, as well. So the Black History Parade in Riverside, in downtown Riverside, I believe, is taking place this upcoming Saturday. It's always a great event out there. The city of Riverside definitely supports the happenings within their community. So it's always a great turnout. Vendors all throughout downtown Riverside.
They used to be part of San Bernardino too.
Yeah. And when they separated, they took the support with them, apparently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You'd be surprised. I do occasionally see people from Riverside come to our event.
Yeah, totally.
And I like it.
No, that's good.
We want you.
No, totally, totally.
But we go to their events too, like the Michigan, right?
Definitely. Matter of fact, speaking of downtown Riverside, I am a part of a panel with Blacklandia, which is a branch of Inlandia, and it's a panel talking about unmasking strength, rewriting the rules of masculinity. It's going to be hosted by James Coates, who we've had on the show to do poetry, Mr. Loving Words, as well as Richard Allen May III, myself, and then James Woods, the yoga dude. He's going to be on the panel as well. This is happening on Thursday, February 6th at the main library, and the doors open at 6 p.m. and it's free. And then the bonus is the first Thursday is the art walk night in downtown Riverside. So after the panel, there'll be all kind of activities and arts and vendors happening throughout downtown Riverside. So if you're free, come on out. And then also I just want to, and you'll hear me talk about this as we get closer to the date, just want to plug the first annual GPN Men's Conference that we have organized by Tiffany Parra is going to be happening in Rancho on March 1st. If you're interested in purchasing some tickets, you could go to my Facebook page or hit me on Instagram. If you just type in my name, IPYANI, I should pop up. It should say Ipiani Lockhart, or on Instagram, it'll say Ipiani Lockhart or Motivational Realizations.
All right. There's more. How many more events? There's a lot of events. So go to I Love San Bernardino.
Yes.
If you put in food bank or whatever, you can get your food banks. You can just use a search engine and find a lot of different events.
A lot of resources.
A lot of stuff has been going on over at like the county museum. I've been posting a lot of stuff for the kids, especially in the morning. Mm-hmm. So check out the San Bernardino County Museum for our history tidbit, and take the kids over there. I have so many great memories from there as a youngster, and they have cool nights. Like they have like Cosmic Night, and like where you can actually spend the night there at the museum and just do some cool stuff, right? So go see some bugs and take the kids over to the museum and make them love the history like me and Yanni do. Yeah.
Definitely love it, and most important to learn from the history.
Yes,
you know what I mean. That's the key, to learn for it, so we don't repeat errors or faults of the past.
Otherwise, get involved, team. Do what you can do to make our city better, and I think we've been doing a good job with that.
Yes, indeed.
I think we're segueing on to the next topic here.
There we go.
So we have Daryl.
Definitely.
Hello.
Van
Samson.
Yeah.
Definitely, or Samson. But you know what? Before we interview Daryl Van Sampson, we just want to take a moment just to recognize a brother that's no longer with us, Miles Hernandez. We were all a part of, we like to call ourselves Black Ops, and we've helped many elected officials win their seats, pass Measure U and Rialto, and just a number of political things. And we got a lot of stories about that, too. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we just want to recognize our brother Miles Hernandez that tragically passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. He was a great, great man. It was really cool, really chill, had great conversations, and then also want to shout out, Christopher Tafoya, Warner, and Brandon. You know what I mean? Because that was Farmer Nielsen. You know what I mean? All these guys were great dudes and are doing great things. Warner's like a damn professional fighter. You know what I mean? And Nielsen Farmer Nielsen went into the Navy, and now officer now, and I think he just recently had his child, and Chris has a baby now as well. So they're doing great things, and but that time in our life with Brother Miles was special. For me, it really helped me cut my teeth in as far as the community engagement and learning more about how the politics work and everything like that.
It's always good to have a mentor.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. There is a lot of mentors in San Bernardino. Just make sure you find the right ones.
No, positive that are building up our community. So definitely, Daryl Van Sampson,
yes,
Mr. Sampson in the house, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm feeling good.
Definitely. What you been up to, man? It's been a number of years since we've been in space together.
Yeah. Since the politics, I got into community. Well, still in community service. I was working with homeless veterans for about 7 years. I did that. During that time, I helped to rehouse over 5,000 veterans. Thank you.
Awesome.
Got about 250 of them. I got them employed. Awesome. Now I'm working with the entire population, but just of the city of Redlands. I'm the homeless liaisons for the city out there.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. I know that you do great work because you always have provided great leadership when we work. You always had words of wisdom for us, encourage us, offer different perspectives on things. Knowing that you are a Army vet as well as National Guard and Reserves, that you served in all three of those, what are some lessons that the military instilled in you or taught you that you still implement in your life today?
Oh, wow, that's deep.
You can just stay on the surface. You don't have to go.
Shower, shave, and shampoo.
And don't trust the shark.
I didn't say the S word because I don't see an engineer in there.
Oh man, it's a lot on there. Wait, let me try to pin something down.
Maybe one or two tidbits.
Always listen to good people that's going before you. Most people that go before you in anything, generally us as humans, we want to teach. We want to see the next person behind us do it right. So when an older guy, someone that has rank on his shoulder tells you something, listen.
Yes.
And that correlates to the civilian world as well. These old school guys, they take a moment, even if when you're younger and you're doing something old school might stop you, like, you should appreciate that moment, you know? That's the core of us as males. That's how we learn.
Yes.
Listen to your elders. We were going away from that, but that's probably one of the main things. Without listening to those older guys, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in jail somewhere, something like that. But I took time and I heard their words.
Definitely not. Thank you for that.
And so you're the homeless liaison for Redlands?
I'm the homeless shelter liaison. Let me make it correct.
Homeless shelter.
So if anyone needs a shelter in Redlands, they come through me.
Okay. Is there any truth to the rumors that Redlands police send those homeless to
Oh
San
my
Bernardino?
God, no, absolutely not. I've been around a lot of police in my life. I got friends that's police, family members, and I'm black. Let's just say that. And,
Are you?
And from the deep south.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. It's not just a tan.
But I identify.
It was the beard that threw me off.
I'm not San Bernardino. Redlands police, from my experience and from working with them, I work with them all the time now. They are literally one of the best police force out there, and they are so professional, kind, understanding. They will bend over backwards to try to help you. I've seen it over and over with myself.
Where's that rumor? What is that like? Do you think it started here to like make an excuse or something?
No. There is experience.
Yeah.
That has happened.
Okay.
And that might be happening in other places. Redlands take time not to make that happen. Redlands don't like. They don't want that negativity.
My friend was homeless
at all.
and he had to leave San Bernardino because of his drug debts, but he moved to Redlands. So he did the opposite to me, so I was just wondering.
I have seen police forces do it. Literally, I was in the vehicle with one, and this poor guy, he was over here where this
Fifth Street.
where the food stamp office is at, down the street, the store.
Okay.
He was over there, that new store, that's the kind of new store over there. So he was over there, and the police saw him, and I was doing a ride along with him. And they was like, look at this guy. He's not from here. They know him, right? And he knows them. So I'm not going to say the city that brought him here, but he was like, hey, what are you doing here? You know, we already sent you back. Like, I already know that, but they keep kicking me out. He's talking about the police force out there. Yeah. So the police force out there would bring him and drop him into San Bernardino. Mm-hmm. And San Bernardino wouldn't give him a hard time, actually. And they would take him and bring him back. They get him, bring him back. The last time that I know about this story, they put a note, pin a note like a little boy or something, put a little note on his chest and told him, I am a citizen of this city. Do not send me back to San Bernardino. Signed by the police force here. And I'm just like, this poor guy committed no crime.
So the police had to send a note to the police?
To the police, yes.
Don't they have like the best communication stuff ever?
Right. And one time I've been at Union Station, and I saw a guy get right out of jail, still had his stuff on his wrist, and I saw him and heard them give him tickets, said, do not get off until the end of this line. At that time, San Bernardino was the end of the line.
Now it's Redlands?
Now it's Redlands. right. Now it's Redlands.
No, that's awesome.
Interesting, very interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
Definitely. You know, when we used to do a lot of work in the community for on the politics side, you know, and I imagine that you used to utilize your leadership that you gained in the military to help orchestrate us especially when I think about Measure U, because you were the one hiring, leading that campaign.
Yeah, I love that campaign.
For those that are interested in getting into that world, could you speak about what you learned and how to enter that space? Because I think it's a great space, learn how politics work. The money is not that bad, usually $20, $25 an hour, especially if you have the gift of gab. But what are some of the skill sets that you would recognize as a person that was hiring for the campaign and running the campaign? What were some of the skill sets that you were looking for, and the skill sets that people have if they're taking an interest in that?
People that could not afraid to public speak. That's a key. Warner's a good example. He's an entertainer.
Yes, indeed.
Warren has no problem getting on the stage, 1,000 people speaking, doing his thing. You know, all you guys that I brought in, I knew you could handle the job because you weren't afraid to be out in public.
Totally.
You know, and also a good keen historical mind. Boom. If you got some type of knowledge and stuff, like Brandon was really good.
Yes, very smart.
If you could go out there on the spot, because you're going to have people, you know, voters that are going to try to stick it to you.
Yeah.
You got to be on your feet, or you make yourself look stupid, you make your campaign look stupid.
Yeah.
So as long as you know the basis of what you're out there for, you can flex it all kinds of different ways. Just always be honest.
Yes.
You know, don't lie, don't make up anything. Tell the voters what they need to hear.
Totally.
They either gonna accept it or they not, and you out of their life, you know.
And we used to, excuse me, we used to tell the people all the time that if you don't know the answer, take the people's number down, and you will go to the leadership.
Be honest. You don't have to know everything, and no one knows everything.
No,
so
true.
if you don't know at that moment, hey, you know what? I'm gonna find out for you and get it back to him. That shows respect for that man's opinion or that woman's opinion. You know.
Definitely, and you know, one term that we kind of talked about this off air, but one concept that Daryl Van Sampson made me aware of is the functioning crackhead. Right?
Wait, that's not him. No.
I don't think we're in the presence of any functioning crackhead. But it really, it's such a funny term. But the seriousness of it is that, you know, in our daily grind or our daily routines, we are crossing paths with so many people that are battling addiction.
Yes,
you know,
all the time.
that they present and they're able to handle their job or do their responsibilities, but
I got these 2 cheeseburgers, man.
For those that may not know what my brother is referencing a line for Boys in the Hood and Minister Society. And don't nobody want them cheeseburgers, man. but no, like that's on our daily basis. You are dealing with people. You never know what they're going through and what their struggles is. I say all that to say to be kind to one another, because you never know what someone's going through. You know, and how
Really
they're.
don't. And not all of us are addicted the same way either.
Totally.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Some
Totally.
people
A
just
lot of
are,
addictions.
they got it bad, man. It's like, I think it's just genetics, or it has to be, you know?
Some are predisposed because their parents might had some issues. You know what I mean?
I see that a lot. It's sad, but yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I sort of as an effort to try to prove to myself that I'm not struggling with the challenges of addiction, I practiced or exercised in dry January.
Okay.
And so all the whole month of January, didn't really drink. And
January's over.
Yeah, but I'm still dry.
Oh, yeah!
And honestly, like I probably have maybe a drink or two throughout the weekend, and but one of the key things, shout out to my drinking buddy, my cousin, we used to say,
always a cousin.
we used to say
Right.
we aren't going to rely on our on the substance to get us through. You know, we would basically say that, like, when you get upset about something, you're like, I need a drink. And like, that's exactly when you don't need a drink.
Yeah.
And like for me, the effort was really just going through the time and just making certain that whatever in life was happening, that I didn't reflect on the moment, like, when can I have a drink? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was some weekends. Matter of fact, I went to a bar this weekend to help a friend celebrate their birthday, and it felt really awkward, like, hey, let me get a Coke.
Yeah.
And they're like, what you want in it? I was like, it's the 31st. You can't go on the last day.
I hear you.
15 years later, it's still weird. But, I could get water in
Mocktails
Temple,
as well.
yeah, now and feel all right. But like, I have a real problem. Like, you're doing it like for a month because you realize that it's important.
And the detox,
Yeah.
it's another.
I'm just California sober over here, man.
And I gotta admit to you, like, that's probably one of the reasons why this is one of the first times I've been here, is because I spread myself so thin. I don't have much energy, and I get home and I'm like, I just want to unwind.
Right.
And
Yeah. I know that well.
just taking that, removing that
That
element
was my
out.
whole life in archaeology. I think you work hard all day, you get home, you want a beer or watch the football game or basketball game.
Definitely.
But I mean, like, now it's different. Now I go to city meetings instead.
There you go. You found another addiction.
Yeah.
Addicted to community.
Politics is a bad one, man. I got 3 G's
Oh yeah.
I encourage you, anyone out there that hasn't seen Minister Society, is definitely a classic. You know what I mean? And if you've never watched it and you watch it, that's how you get your card to the barbecue.
Yeah.
I remember watching it in high school. Yeah, like that was like everyone in senior year watched that. We all watched it. All got together to watch it.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Trips
A lot of
to
lessons.
the movies.
Very graphic.
What
too.
about Don't Be a Menace?
Hardcore.
Say that one more time.
What about Don't Be a Menace?
Don't be a minute. Ask classic Wayans
man.
Brothers if you want to laugh.
Yeah.
That's classic, man.
But see, the tricky part about watching Don't Be a Menace is that you have to be aware of the references.
Right,
it makes
right.
it that much funnier.
Yeah.
It's still funny
Yeah.
because of the just the entire storyline and just
Right.
the antics that they do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
overall, when you know where that's from and you like, oh, that's it's crazy.
It's much more funny if you
Yeah.
watch Menace first before you watch Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah,
Much
yeah.
more
Yeah.
funny.
Spoof. It's a
Yeah.
spoof of that.
All the numbers are gonna pop up on
Yeah.
what do they have? I don't even know what station.
You probably
they
can
have
watch it
now.
on
Netflix,
YouTube
maybe?
Yeah.
for free.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Try to
yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're
There-
gonna find it everywhere.
there's
Yeah, I got it on
surprisingly a lot of
VHS.
there's a good variety. Like, I've Googled movies and just thought like it was gonna give me like a trailer or some kind,
give you
and
the full
I watched the trailer and YouTube like, all right, like, you want to watch it? Here you go, a couple dollars, or it's
free.
free
free,
with
yeah.
advertisement, especially older movies. So
Yeah.
Totally.
Good
No.
stuff. Good stuff. How did we get on this tangent?
Definitely.
functioning correctly. We are not one of those collective, but
No. I know something though. I know.
we all do. We might not be aware of it. That's the whole thing. They blend in well, chameleons,
Yeah.
And before we segue over to Chache right, and interview him. I know that a lot of us are sports fans here, and often in our area, the Lakers are a topic. And any thoughts?
Who are the Lakers?
I hear for some.
What's a Laker?
I hear you. It ain't no
He
Lakers.
must have been from Michigan or something.
Or Minnesota or something
Yeah.
like that, right? But does anyone have any thoughts on this Luka Doncic trade and AD going to Dallas and Luka Doncic coming to the Lakers?
No.
I don't have that much, man.
Well, you know what? I found it very interesting. Now, people that know me, I used to watch sports all the time, but now just so busy and
Yeah,
have
that's the
other
problem.
priorities that I'll glance. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. Of course,
Yeah.
that's like.
I'll have some chips.
There you go. Enjoy your chips. But I thought this trade, I don't really get into basketball until after football season, but I thought the trade is very interesting, and it's already happened, but it made me wonder, like, why would Dallas trade away a player that has the potential of being one of the greatest players? You know what I mean? And
Because they all want to go to the lake show, man.
L.A., California, maybe that's the case, but I found it very
Well,
interesting.
Kobe did it. LeBron did. I mean, it's just over. Shaq did it like over and over.
Yeah.
Well, Kobe was
It's
drafted.
L.A.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Hollywood. You become more than a star of just, of sports.
No, there's all
You
kind of happenings
yeah.
out here. The culture,
You
the
become
opportunities.
A mega star.
I hope I don't get canceled in California for this, but I think it's kind of shameful. I think what's going on in the Lakers is it's not the Lakers. That's not.
What
the
what
show
about
I've been
LeBron
seeing.
hiring his son?
That's another part of just bringing the legacy down
Yeah.
of who the Lakers are. This is the Lakers, y'all. This is the prime time show of the NBA of the nation.
It's not Kobe and Shaq, but
It's not at all. I mean,
it's not Magic.
it's none of that. It's not Jerry West. It's none of that, man. It's not, man.
But the league has
That's
changed
why I'm not
overall
watching
over
it,
time.
Yeah.
The 3-point, Steph Curry has literally changed the NBA, basically.
Steph Curry has my whole heart. Old school basketball, fundamental play.
Yes.
I respect that, man. Other stuff I see in the league today, I've stopped watching the basketball, to be honest. I used to play basketball. I used to ball. I was two sports MVP. I could ball. I just didn't have the height, but
hear you.
I could ball with anybody. To be in the finals, playoffs,
That's a Spud Webb,
and I,
man.
hey, I didn't have Spud Webb.
Man.
I get that man is that man. I'm telling you, I can play, but I wasn't on that level. But I'm on a better level than a lot of these players playing
me.
today. You're taking free throws and shooting air balls in the finals? That's insulting to me.
Man.
3-4 steps, and you telling me
That's
you're
Shaq.
giving me a reason why that's not a travel? That's a travel.
Like, the gather. Where does
this
the
is
gather
insulting
come
my
from?
intelligence, Yeah, the gather. Where they come
Where
from?
did the gather come from? James Harden.
Come on, man. Come on.
But definitely. Now, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and then as well as your thoughts on the Grammy Awards with Kendrick Lamar shouting out the Inland Empire and San Bernardino when he won a few of his Grammys
Yeah,
the other
did
night.
shout out Riverside, did he?
That's included in the IE.
Like a stepchild, yeah.
Robert loves everybody.
Yes. I love San Bernardino more.
I got a theory about that.
There you go.
So he was actually at the San Bernardino, after the parade this weekend, and it clicked for me. Tommy the Clown was in his his video.
Yeah.
And so I know that's probably sort of a link or connection that Tommy the Clown has a lot of operations
Yes.
or activity here in the Inland Empire.
Yes, indeed.
So, he might have, kind of put some of the youngest from the town on there, and they was like, oh, where y'all from? And they
Dino.
they probably put us on the map. So
Hey,
shout
now.
out to
Hey,
Tommy the
now.
Clown, and shout out to, K-Dot for
Yeah.
That promotion
uplifting us that way.
is incredible for us.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
it's bigger than, like I was telling Tim Prince, it's bigger than if everybody in the whole city yelled, I love San Bernardino at the same time.
Well, let's
Like,
see. We got to compare
well,
that.
No, I'm
theory.
just saying, this is worldwide.
No,
That's
word
more
up,
than 200,000 people. Like, people are watching this stuff from San Bernardino. And that, the only thing that can comparable is like the terrorist attacks or something, you know?
a better
It's
life.
incredible.
Or
I
even
love
people
it.
that know where San Bernardino is, they probably was like, ugh, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why you?
From the outside looking in,
Because we got talent, that's why.
I'm not a native Californian, but I can do tell you this. Outside of California, people do know San Bernardino, but they don't know San Bernardino as San Bernardino is today. as most states that got popular cities, everyone thinks San Bernardino, outside of California, is right next to LA.
Yes.
When I moved out here, I thought it was going to be next to LA.
A 3-hour traffic nightmare to LA.
I didn't know what the IE was.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
went to college and I would ask girls or whatever, where you from? They say, I'm from Southern California. That's what the first thing. Like, okay, what city? Well, it's in the IE. You might not know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I didn't. I'm like, what's the IE? The Inland Empire. And then they get frustrated. Look, you don't know, just stop asking me. Now I know. Now I know. And I rep the IE hard, right?
Yeah, you do. Been serving the community for over 15 years, brother, making
right.
huge impact. Over 2,000 veterans being able to connect to resources, being housed, over 250 connected to employment, served our nation, brother. So you haven't just served the Inland Empire, you've been serving America.
And remember, I'll pat my own back. Rialto still gets $10 million every year from Measure U.
Still to this very day. Awesome, it's your leadership, brother. Well, definitely. As we segue over to Mr. Wright, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Before we segue, though, I just want to ask you, brother, what inspired you to want to help, the homeless community and do the work that you do in the community now?
It's got to be the money.
No, it's definitely not the money. It's definitely not the money. Well, I fell into it. I always been a guy that likes to help others. That's just who I am. In my core, that's just who I am. And to be honest, when I first got out here, it was really rough. I got out here when Obama was just taking over. I left Louisiana because it's a red state, and you couldn't find work anywhere. People were begging to work to be a fry cook at Wendy's. I mean, I'm from a place where the population might be a large town is like 10,000 people. That's nothing out here, So the simplest job, you're competing with over 100, 200 people to work at Walmart for $7.25 an hour, right? So a girl that I knew, that we grew up with, we were from the same place, she invited me to rekindle, let's come out here. When I got out here, I couldn't find work. And this was actually what was going on. If you hadn't worked in 3 months, at that time, they was not going to hire you. They wanted Obama to look bad. Right, that's how it was out here.
I hear you.
So I struggled. Finally, I saw a job. Sabrina Cervantes was the first one to hire me.
Go.
For politics, go out and do some canvassing. I said, okay, I could do that. I'm a history major, I know a little bit about politics, you know. So I went out there and she hired me.
You didn't know Chark. They threw you right in the flames.
But I was ready.
Yeah.
My first night, Miles,
Hernandez.
yeah, he put it on my mind that I was doing good because Miles was struggling to get his numbers up to over 20 yeses in a night.
Yeah.
We go out and we get yeses, those, maybes. I come back in my first night, I come back with 24 yeses. But I was like, how the hell you do that? What do you mean? You got 24? It's your first night.
That's Miles all the way. Oh, I miss my brother.
Man, Miles.
Man, good brother.
Rest
man.
well,
God bless
Miles.
you, man. Love you, man.
But yeah, the Democratic Party was the first to hire me. After that little job, I sat around again doing little odd jobs. Then Soul called me up for Norma Torres. Worked that one. Then I started getting more work. And then actually Norma Torres, Congresswoman Torres, she looked out for me from the time that she met me to this day. Anytime that I need something serious and all this, I could call on Norma Torres and she will hook me up. She got my back because I had hers. Right? So she started her office, put in my resume because I gave my resume to her, and she started putting in the friends, and then suddenly I started getting calls. Hey, you want to come out and try? It was for SSVF, Supportive Service for Veterans and Their Families, was my first job. I was hired by Lighthouse Social Service Center, PW at that time. It was a subcontract company. And I just started working with veterans, which I am a veteran, and I started liking it. And I started seeing these brothers and sisters in the streets and like, man, and keep in mind where I'm from, there's no such thing as homelessness. There was no such thing as homelessness at this level. So when I first got here, I was culture shocked. I had never seen the level of homelessness out here. And you were there that day, but Hardy, Mom, I asked her a question about the homelessness, and she told me stuff about Sacramento and LA gets it. She was honest about it, and I started learning. Like, she's right.
We don't get the funding.
We don't get the funding, right? So that's what got me into it, and I liked it. I like helping people. I like the response when people do right and they do well, they do what they're supposed to do, and we bring them to that next level. I kind of fell in love with that, and that's where I am.
So right back at you. What got you?
What inspires you
into
to play the leadership role that you do in our community?
It's very interesting because much like him, I also kind of fell into it. Mostly it's anchored and rooted in just who I am and trying to be an advocate for the community
What does
and
it
in the
stand
community.
for?
NAACP.
So I'm as a member of the NAACP, or
As
president. As president of the San Bernardino branch of NAACP, National Advancement Association for Colored People. One of the oldest, boldest, baddest civil rights organization in the nation.
Was it founded with this after the founding of the country? Like how old is it?
18. You put me on the spot, and that's I always had. This is like one of my punch questions. I was like, yeah, because I got to talk to the youngins.
I just know it's very old. I mean, like a lot of these organizations, you have to understand. Like if you you were around during segregation and everything, you are hardcore.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You survived.
Oh yeah,
right?
and the Day One initiative was driven behind the fact that first off, it wasn't just founded by Black people. It was a collective of people who saw that there was in uneven distribution or unequitable accommodation for people of color in general, and what they sought to fight for was to get rights and opportunities for people who deserved it. I mean, the way that America was founded, it was just not being evenly accommodated for, and so we that fight is still very much alive. Exactly, and that's part of why I still do, or I still operate, with this organization, just knowing that first off, there are a lot of people in this community that already are doing the work in the channel that I operate within. So it's great to be able to be locked in arms with people who take that work and do that initiative.
Shout out to WAG.
Indeed. Matter of fact, WAG was actually. You're talking about listening to the old heads, and just letting them give you some game and learn you up. I born and raised here in the Inland Empire. My moniker or my statement is I was born in Fontana, raised in Rialto, but honed by San Bernardino. And I used to go to the WAG meetings with my mother. My mother, Beverly Jones Wright, raised me up in the community, doing community work. She does a lot of community work still to this day.
What is a WAG?
West Side Action Group.
There you go.
And it is a collective of African Americans and pretty much anyone who wants to be active in the community. It literally for the anchor is the West Side, but we really they really try to address issues all throughout the Inland Empire, Southern California. Essentially, wherever they see a need, they will try to at least have some support or some efforts in that regard. And the way that I got into the NAACP, well, first my mother was a member, and I was a member from all the way from youth. I left San Bernardino and went to Morehouse College. I was a member at Atlanta, Georgia. And then when I came back, actually, I didn't even really join NAACP right off the bat. I just kind of wanted to help out and doing, helping out in the community. Actually, that's where Ifyani and I met with United Nations of Consciousness, just picking up trash in the community.
Yeah, word up.
And we were just, we locked in right then and there because we just knew that we were two types, cut from the same cloth in terms of just really knowing and recognizing that there's a need in the community, and if no one's gonna do it, it's gonna be us.
It's gotta be us.
And so I was, part of the leadership, or I was part of the membership. Then decided to step up to the leadership as a second vice, and then our president tragically passed too soon. Shout out, much love for forgot my brother's name. He was a mentor for me, and he gave me a lot of gems. Like when I first came in, I just kind of was timid. I didn't want to say anything. I kind of still like that. I really don't like to rock the boat. You know what I mean? But part of this role does.
In the meetings, because you're not vocal until you're given the mic.
Because that's the thing is that there are to me, especially in this town, unfortunately, there are some things that it's like there's a diplomatic approach you can take, and just like let's sit down, let's talk about it. But then there are other things that it's like this is crazy. And the fact that we're not talking about it, or the fact that no one is actually looking at this and they're just saying, oh, it just happened. These things cannot just happen. We cannot just idly sit by and just say, oh, well, it'll go away, or it'll grow into, it'll heal itself. Nah, we have to be intentional and deliberate about how we address the issues of our community.
That's leadership.
Shoot, I've been planting seeds all day long, man. That's all I do is plant seeds everywhere, and just some grow, some don't. But we hope we can influence the community, in a positive way.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. And at the very least, I kind of consider myself a little bit of a torchbearer, where I'm standing on the shoulders of many great men.
Women.
Ratu Jaycox.
Yes, shout out to Ratu.
Everyone has heard
Don
of that
Riggs,
organization, dude. So it's a prestigious role you're sharing with us. There is also the other aspect of it, like some in the racist realm look bad at the NAACP, but sure. I've never thought of them to be anything other than a community organization. Yes. They're not militant in any way or anything like that, right?
No, and unfortunately, that is our gift and our curse. There are other organizations that, when I became the leadership, that I reached out to, and they were just like, nah, we ain't rocking with y'all. Well, a handful of them were like, okay, until they found out that we were okay with talking with the police. It's like, you talk to the police? Oh, no, we can't arrest y'all. Now, I'm like, well, I mean, and my personal opinion or approach is that we'll never get, I don't say never, but we won't get to the success that we deserve and we should have by standing outside of the walls, like Jericho trying to shout it down. And we have to be on the inside, because all we're going to do is just get people to change their ways when the cameras ain't on, when they're not being watched. But what we want to do is change the culture. We want them to be, like, from the inside. We want everyone to look at the whole situation and say, you know what?
I used to play Ice-T all the time, man. Now I go up and introduce myself and thank them for living in our city.
I hear you. For those that do, because we do have a lot of parachutes.
If they don't, they're hearing it from me.
I encourage that. And my neighbor, Chuck Burris, worked for the sheriff back in the day, and we never had issues on our block. And I'm big on people living in the community they serve, because they have vested interests. They want to see it better versus parachuting in like, oh, whatever happens, I did my shift.
I'm out of here.
Invested, you know what I mean? Yeah. But the question that I have for you, brother, is I know that you have an upcoming event happening, I believe, tomorrow. If you could kind of share about that and tell us, what's going on and how people can support and connect with the NAACP.
So we have our meetings via Zoom, and I'm trying to kind of have a little bit of a hybrid where our office is right on the west side of San Bernardino, right at the New Hope Family Life Center, right at the intersection of Highland Avenue and Western.
Or for those that may know it from back in the day, the Dorothy Ingram Library.
It's still the Dorothy Ingram Library, and the facility overall. And that in itself is actually a pretty historic building, but we could tap in with that a little later. But what our initiative is basically, we're calling it Giving the Gift of Hope, and our effort is really to help the homeless. We've partnered with Women's Inspiration Network. They're really spearheading this, honestly, because they've created networks or connections with CAPS, where we got a lot of food that we're giving away, clothes, toiletries. CAPS is going to provide us with a shelter that they can actually take showers.
Awesome.
And there's going to be we're going to have vendors, mobile clinic,
clothes and a shower.
I mean, because that's the other issue, is that sometimes when we started, it was kind of on Christmas or around the Christmas time, like a couple of years ago, and we just saw the need, and a lot of people look at the NAACP and they just think all of our issues are, rooted or anchored around, African American issues and civil rights, and we all are trying to, but some of the stuff is like proactive work.
Yes.
If you're just always reacting to everything, then there's always going to be a fire to put out. So we want to really just be a part of the community and really trying to drive that we're here together. We're here to support one another.
Yes, indeed.
And so the event is actually going to be tomorrow. Will start around. You all right?
It'll be that burrito.
That ain't me.
It'll be from 11 to 4.
Okay.
And again, that's we're really just trying to provide support for the members of our community. We actually went out to Pasadena and gave out a lot of resources and bottled water and clothes and we had a partnership with Sam's Club that gave us a gang of stuff. So we were like, all right. Remember we used to do the homeless thing? We still got a lot of stuff left over from the Pasadena stuff because they told us they already had way too much. So it's just an effort to really support the community.
Definitely, that's
So
beautiful.
how would they find you online if they wanted to get in contact with you?
You can follow us on all platforms of social media at NAACP_San and our website is www.sanbernardinonaacp.org.
Definitely. And shout out to the WIN Network. I know that that's an organization that your sister leads.
Yes.
Shout out to Shay. And the Christmas event
Yeah, you
that
have a
you
whole
guys did.
family of leaders over there, man.
Yeah.
It's straight in the roots, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Bev. You know what I mean? Like for real, always doing great things.
Why don't we having her on this show too?
Probably just
Next
ask
time?
your son to reach out.
I'll tap her and let her
Definitely.
know.
But the Christmas event that you guys did towards the end of December just before Christmas last year, it was beautiful. And seeing the community, and like you said, people often try to limit the NAACP thinking it's just specifically about African Americans. It's for people of people of color.
It's literally people of color. Yeah.
And you see a lot of diversity in the different chapters throughout the Inland Empire and Southern California, and that's beautiful. But I just want to say all that to say this, brother. Like, what do you have for the future of the NAACP? What are some things any other events coming down the pipeline? Because I know you guys do your end of the year gala, but what's the vision for this year?
This year we're really working to try to do a lot of collaborations with other entities. We're currently talking with the Black Chamber of Commerce to try to do something for Juneteenth. We also want to do something with the SB.
SBs.
There's the Sheriff's Employee Benefits,
Okay.
where we wanted to just kind of do something with the fathers.
Yes.
So we're going to be spread thin during the month of June, but really our effort really is to try to just really be there in the community and be active and just kind of let people know we're here for support. I just spoke with someone yesterday in regard to trying to put more or uplift more African American history next month for Black History Month. So be on the lookout for that.
We are in Black History Month.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. This month, because we're there should have been something this month. That's where the conversation started.
Totally
We're like, we should really have that because we got so much African.
Yes,
we got
we do.
so much history just in this community. So we got a lot of things coming up.
And Daryl Van Sampson, how can people that might be unhoused or veterans that are looking to connect with your with the city of Redlands, how can people get in contact with you to connect to those resources?
Pretty quickly.
Right. Just call the city of Redlands, ask for Homeless Solutions. They'll probably connect you with me.
All right.
Go ahead, Eric.
And don't forget to tune in after with Tribe and Grit at 8 o'clock.
All right.
Tribe and Grit, yeah!
This is in Tyrone.
Yeah, man.
does.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Amen.
Yeah, this was an incredible show.
Yes,
I've been
indeed.
wanting to have you on the show for a long time, pick your brain, because you're so quiet in the meetings. I really didn't know how you are. But now I do, and you are a cool dude, man. Right? And you,
Yes,
man,
sir.
you look like my dad, man. Shoot,
Yes,
I'm adopting you. And this is Boa Porter and Nipiani Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio Show, and we are